Hey, comadres, and welcome back to your Andale Pues podcast. I am your host, Rose.
And I'm your co-host, Jezebel. And today we're going to be talking all about some of the trending topics that we have seen over the news and on TikTok and all the social media recently, such as the Diddy.
So much shit, dude.
The Diddy trial, Kayla Malik and Evan, whatever his name is, James Charles.
What the fuck?
We're also going to talk about what and why, like what possesses somebody when you're going through something really hard and you're bawling your eyes out, right? And in the middle of it, you're like, what makes you think, you know what, let me record this?
To me,
fine.
Okay. To me, it's like you're crying, or you say, "Oh, déjame poner mi phone para hacerme record crying." Do you go back and watch it, and what if you're like, pues no lloré bien,
I know, right?
I'm gonna re-record it so I can cry harder or cry different, or
I can understand cringe. Like maybe like recording it, like just because you want to see where you're at in life, or like you're going through a really hard time and you want to remember like where you're at right in this moment. That I can understand. The part that I cannot get past is that you're like looking at it later on or that day or whenever, and you're looking at yourself crying and you're like, what in your brain makes you say, let me post this?
Yeah, no. Like, that's I understand, for example, to me, it's like, okay, understandable is if we're recording a podcast and there's, I've cried before. Well, not cried, but I've gotten teary-eyed on emotional on another, on another
telling
episode.
A story
we're
about
telling
something.
A story that was really emotional to me, but like, I'm not gonna agüitada and shit and be like, fuck, I'm gonna record it so I can get attention on TikTok. Like, no.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
And then go and post about it. Like, no.
Yeah, so
no, that's so cringe to me because I'm like, do you go back and look at it and be like, hell yeah, I fucking cried good. Or hell yeah,
this one's gonna get a lot of likes.
Yeah. Like, what? No, that's so weird.
It's a cringe for me. That's weird. An ick too.
Like, I just want to understand, like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, one of the things that I have not been able to, I've been in this hole in TikTok that I have not been able to like crawl out of is Kayla Malik, James Charles, and this Evan guy. Have you seen any about it, or have you? Okay. Yes. Did you watch her YouTube videos?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You did?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
No. I watched part of one because I was like, I can't do it.
I watched.
It was so toxic, dude, and so like just.
And I can watch it because I've never experienced domestic abuse either at home, like in my growing up, or as an adult. Like that's just not been ever something that I've had to deal with. But the way that she sits there and just literally tells you everything in such graphic detail, I could not. And dude, I don't know if you got to that point or got to that part, but at the end of her first video, she's going on and she's telling you everything that she went through in like chronological order, and she's telling you, all of it. And at the end, I think she kind of ended up starting to break down to where she's like, okay, this is really a lot. Because it was like a 2-hour video.
No, dude, it was like...
She plays the videos that were on her phone whenever he was doing crazy shit to her. Right now... I have never in my life experienced anything even remotely close to that. So to see somebody who's so young, and then you in the back of my head, and just all these things or these people that you see that have spoken out against domestic violence or have experienced something like that, that's what it's like.
It was,
was so
I couldn't watch the whole thing because I'm like, it was so triggering to me that I just got really emotional and I just...
So he started, and the thing with her and him is that it just kind of seemed that the minute that he started drinking, he would just get completely shit-faced and then just go off on her, right? And like, she didn't come from that, so she wasn't like familiar with it. And so he ended up starting like de un chingazo right away. Yeah. Like, I think it was that he just, he started like punching her. Like he punched her or something over something, and then like, so obviously she like fell back. This motherfucker climbed on top of her and was using her like if he was like literal punching bag. So then she showed like the video of her pulling her lip down where her teeth had indented the inside of her lip, where he was just, dude, the thought of somebody, number one, hitting me, another man, okay? Or not another man.
Okay.
I'm not a man. The thought of a man hitting me. Okay. The thought of a man still climbing on top of me and using me as a punching bag is terrifying. And this poor young girl, and obviously millions of girls are like going through this. Oh my God.
And like
my heart
when I was with that guy that literally almost beat me to death, like he tried to break a mirror on top of me.
Dude, that's fucking nuts.
He said he was going to cut my face up.
That's fucking nuts.
And this guy is a bodybuilder, so he jumped on this mirror and intentionally tried to break it on top of me so it can cut me. And he said he was going to get the shards to cut my face up so nobody would want me. And the fact that he did that and it did not break, like, I know, God's got me, but to watch that and listen to that all over again was awful. And then people always fucking, it pisses me the fuck off when people say, well, why did you stay? Well, why didn't you leave him? Well, why did you put up with it? No, it's not that we choose to put up with it. It's just hard to get away or get out because they're so toxic, so psychotic that they would fucking chase you down and find you until and keep fucking fucking with your head. Yes.
Imagínate, like, and I used to be one of those people because to me I was like, well, fucking leave. We'll leave because I've never experienced anything even remotely close to that. Yeah, I would just be like, well, what are you still doing there, right? Yeah. And now, excuse me. And now, as an adult and hearing your story firsthand and just maturing, I start to see that. You think about it like, okay, so what are you going to do for money? You are literally uprooting yourself from like your house or apartment or whatever, even and if you have kids and stuff, like, it's easy de ver cómo se te empieza a cerrar el mundo, or so you think.
Because you don't want to inconvenience people. You don't want people to know your life or to feel sorry for you. This is me speaking from my experience. You don't want, like I said, to inconvenience people is such a big deal to me because, like, people have to stop what they're doing or pause their life for you. And I hate to do that to people because I'm like, it's not their responsibility.
Here's my thing. I think the thing that bothered me the most with her. So there's several instances and she really like goes into detail with everything. She tells you in chronological order, this happened on this day and then this happened and then here was the next time, right? So the part that bothered me the most, I'm not anymore one of those people that's just like, oh, just leave, because I understand that it's not that easy. I understand that they fuck with your brain. I understand that they, are really like inside of your head. However, my problem and where I started to get pissed off at somebody else was when her friend walked in on her. I think he was like on top of her, if I'm not mistaken, like madreándola. And the friend just walked in and obviously like he gets off of her and they go about their business. Like, as a friend, like if I see that,
I would fucking go jump on his back and start fucking choking him out.
Exactly. Like, what the fuck? And that was her roommate. And so I think that's the part that like kind of, it bothered me because I was like, as a friend, you know what's going on. Not. You can't tell me that she didn't know. You can't tell me that he's on top of her. You walk in and you thought they were doing like boning or something. Because you could tell, I'm sure you could tell in her face. She was crying,
screaming, or fucking doing something.
So that's where I started to get kind of mad about it, because I was like, man, like somebody should have done something. I think, and for her, that one of the more scary parts too was the subway. So I guess they were in New York and, he got, and that was another frustrating thing for me, like just hearing it, right? And it must have been so frustrating for her is why? Like what would always trigger him? And she made it a point to really make you understand that she never knew why. Mm-hmm. She was like, we'd be totally fine. And then all of a sudden, it's like something flipped. And she was like, he'd stop talking to me. He'd stop responding to me. He'd just have a mood. And you constantly hear her in the video just being like, what did I do? Like, are you serious? Like, what? Yeah. You know, right? Mm-hmm. And she's very young. So her storytelling is also... Mm-hmm. It wore me out a little bit, but I think it's definitely worth watching. Not only just like because you want to see kind of how it went down, but also for our daughters. Like at the time,
to see what to look out for, 100%. To see what you should.
Absolutely. The biggest thing with that on her parents' end is you would think like, okay, well she has somebody to run to, dude. There was so many times where she was isolated in another city, and she was like, I couldn't call anybody because she and her dad had a falling out, so they weren't talking, they weren't speaking. And then I don't know if she felt like she was inconveniencing her mom, or that means she was at odds with her mom, but I cannot imagine being that young, my boyfriend beating the fuck out of me, and not being able to pick up the phone and call my mom, my friends, my dad. Like, how isolating. Oh my God, my heart freaking broke for her. And so anyway, so that was the whole point of like the isolation, why I brought that up. But when they were in New York, he got pissed off over obviously something. Nobody knows why. She doesn't know why. And so all of a sudden, like, they're walking, and I guess they're going to get on the subway, or they're near subway stairs or something. So she's standing there, and they got in a fight, and so she walks away. So when she walks away, she says that she heard him behind her. I don't know if he was running or walking. I don't know the speed. So whenever she was walking away, she heard him come up behind her. This motherfucker pushed her with all of it, because in her mind, she was like, oh, he can't, we're in public, right? ¿Qué va a hacer? He came up behind her and pushed the living crap out of her as hard as he could, to where she fell backwards on the subway stairs. Oh, ni pegó en las escaleras. She fell flat on her back, or like the next to last step, the last couple steps, on her back, and slid down to whatever was left. She thought she was fucking paralyzed. Oh my God. When I heard her say that, I had to take a break. I had to take a break from watching it, because the kids were running around, and it felt like everything was a lot. Like, she was sitting there and she's like started crying, because she was just like, I thought I was paralyzed. So luckily somebody saw him. So this girl is like, hey, get the fuck away from her. Like, you just tried to kill her. Because I don't know if he tried to go down there, or like he was still standing there or something. So he took off. Without
fucking piece of shit.
Because she's screaming, I'm paralyzed. I can't move. I can't feel my legs. And he takes off. Like, he doesn't even bother to. Dude. And the fear that she exudes, like, whenever she's talking about this, like, imagínate que pienses que estés paralizada porque este estúpido te empujó. So then they still had, and here's where I think domestic abuse, I think there's an opportunity for you to look at, what am I fucking doing with my life? After something like that, obviously, the cops come, they don't get arrested, or he doesn't get arrested, but, they file a report and everything. And so when they had to stay in New York like 2 more days or something like that, you can't go anywhere because your back is hurting so much. She said that she was so freaking hurt, she couldn't even walk. But she wasn't paralyzed. She couldn't even walk. So they just stayed in the room for 2 days.
Imagínate what else she had to endure being indoors with him.
Well, that was the thing with him, is it wasn't like he was just like every day constantly beating on her. That he would talk shit to her every day, but they just chilled for 2 days in the hotel. And in my brain, I feel like that's where the disconnect is, like with domestic abuse, because like you just went through this, but now you're stuck in a room with this other person. Like, what happens in those 2 days that didn't make you be like, this motherfucker just tried to kill me? And then you just continue life as normal, like that's, I feel like if I was in that position, all that I would have done those 2 days is just figure out an escape plan. And the thing is that it wasn't that she couldn't escape. It wasn't that she was reliant on him. It was more that he was like leached onto her because she's a famous influencer.
That's how mine was. Like I had my own little rent house, you know, and he was a leech to me, you know, and no matter how much I would tell him, like, I don't want to be with you anymore, like, go away, leave me alone, he would be like, no, bitch, you're mine. If you're not mine, you're not going to be for nobody else.
Fucking scary.
And it was like, oh my God, like, and I didn't, at the moment, I wasn't really talking to my family because we had fallen outs too, just like anybody else. But it was like, I didn't have nobody really to call and say, hey, I need help. You know, because I didn't feel like they were going to take me seriously, or I didn't want to inconvenience people.
Well, because imagine getting a call from somebody that just says like, "Hey, I really need help. This and this happened." Like,
and I had kids. You terrifying. Know, it's my rent house. Like, I couldn't break the lease. I couldn't just up and go. Like, I didn't have the money to just get up and go. You know, it was like I was crippled at the moment, and I would call the cops. He would get arrested. He would still bother me. I would call the cops. He would get arrested, but he'd always just get out and look for me. And it's like, you know, how do you take this really seriously when not even the cops take it seriously, you know?
That's such a scary place to be.
It is a scary place to be because they wouldn't really do nothing.
To help you.
They're the ones that are supposed to help you, protect you, and I felt like they failed me. Even the system failed me when we went to court because I lost the case just because my son didn't say my mom's ex-boyfriend just R'd her. Because he didn't say that word is why we lost the case. And it's fucked up, you know? But you know what? Ahí está un Dios que todo lo ve. I was able to get out after everything was said and done. I was able to get out. My sister Aunt Dora and her husband helped me get out and stuff. And it was such a big relief. But at the same time, I was still so scared. I even went and purchased a gun and took gun lessons because I was scared for my life because I don't know what he was capable of. I would carry because I was like, what if I run into him by myself? What if I run into him when I'm by myself with my kids? Like, God forbid, you know, I was like, I had to protect myself some way or another. And that was my way of protecting myself at the time.
No, good for you. So the way that all of this like ties into James Charles, which number one, James Charles is such a piece of shit. And was caught I don't know how he's not canceled yet because he was caught texting underage boys on Snapchat a couple years ago. And the fact that he still has like 100 million followers or so, I don't know how many, but the fact that he hasn't like fucking gone away and been like exiled is beyond me. So the way that all of this ties into it is that allegedly, the boyfriend was talking and texting with James Charles during this entire time of the abuse. Allegedly, from the interview with Be Better and Zach, I think his last name is Morris or Zach something.
Zach Morris, I think.
It is?
Yeah.
Allegedly, James was sexting this Evan guy. I don't know if the Evan guy was sexting back to him or not, but allegedly they had a whole sexual relationship going on while and in the same time frame.
And he was aware of everything going on.
As all this was happening.
You can't sit there and tell me you were not aware when you knew Kayla too. You know?
Yeah, because they were friends. That's that's how they all were, like James and Kayla. So that to me is beyond, because Be Better, the guy who interviewed Zach, actually came on and said, hey, well, this is going to sound a little crazy, but it's actually very true, is James secured an ex-prosecutor, federal prosecutor as an attorney, or like something, because he wants to sue him for the interview. Yet the Be Better said, here's a list of all of the things that James Charles is going to say in order to refute the claims. Bitch, everything he said, James Charles said in his apology video. Everything he said.
I think he's just a fake motherfucker and he needs to be canceled.
Yeah.
You know what? I have a whole big ass makeup palette. I'm not going to fucking destroy it because I paid my money for it. But fuck you, James Charles. I will no longer ever purchase any of your products.
Can you imagine being such a piece of shit that you know that somebody is doing this to another person? Or even the vibe. Like, you have to pick up on that. But you're such a horny little motherfucker that you don't care. You're just gonna, like, continue hooking up with somebody. Deja tú. Let's just say he didn't know. Let's just say that he didn't pick up on the vibe and he didn't know that this was happening to Kayla. You're fucking your friend's your friend's boyfriend.
Friend's boyfriend, yeah. That's fucked up.
That, like...
Oh, that alone is horrible.
Yeah, ni pa qué seguirle más. Like, even just, that's the tipping point. So, anyways, like, if you guys have not gotten a chance or seen or heard about the Kayla Malik story, and I don't know Evan's last name, but if you have not seen it, go look it up on YouTube. And if you are sensitive, if you're sensitive to domestic violence, I absolutely would not, or make sure that you take breaks, because it's very graphic, it's very intense, and if you are sensitive to stuff like that, do not watch the last like 5 or 10 minutes of Kayla's interview or Kayla's story on the first part, because she adds all the videos, she adds all the pictures, she adds like her being there all beat up, the vanity that he broke while he's in the bathroom mad at her, trying to bandage up his hand because his hand was bleeding from punching the vanity.
Like, to destroy other people's belongings, too, dude.
No, like, get this. He had ella acababa de llegar del aeropuerto ese día or the day before. They put it together. Together. He was like, oh, look at what I bought for you or whatever. And they put it together.
Typical narcissist.
And then a day or two later, whenever that was, he destroyed it.
Piece of shit narcissist.
Oh my god, dude! No, it was a lot, and I know we're like talking about it like as a third party and stuff, and it's very traumatic, but it's nuts. It's wild to me that somebody could be that freaking evil. You know, and I got so frustrated watching it because I was like, at least if she knew why, you know,
like tell me what bothers you so. I think he's just a fucking.
Psycho. Like, that's the only way that you could explain it.
And I feel like if he really cared about her, let me retract that. Like, if you really care about somebody that much, you're not excuse me, you're not gonna hurt them. But I also think he's more gay than straight, because how are you gonna be nice and sweetie and all that shit to one person, but
at
not
the
to the other?
time I feel like doing something.
I feel like he has something against women because of the anger he lets out with
also her. What if it could be, I'm not a certified psychologist and I'm not licensed or anything, but also what if all of this rage toward women is just his inner demons being mad that he can't come out? Or he doesn't feel like he could come out. Cuando que ahí anda tras el otro también. You know, like that rage toward women, right? Sure. Like, which, go freaking punch a brick wall. Like, don't take it out on another woman, you know? But, I mean, not making an excuse whatsoever. I'm just saying, like, because she always said there was no reason why he would get mad. Like, what if he would just get frustrated about, like, I want to be doing something else with somebody else.
I want to be
decided, okay, well, I'm just going to beat the shit out of her, like, just because I'm mad to get it out.
In the open with another man, but I can't because maybe his family's against it. I don't know. But anyway, going on the same subject, have you been keeping up with the Diddy trial and the Cassie
my god
testimony?
That's a whole other thing.
Dude, oh my god, like, literally I got the chills because the stuff they are talking about, the things that he would make her do is so fucking disgusting that I'm just mind blown.
It's so difficult as an outsider to see why somebody kept doing this, but again, at that level, it just, you know, if he has money and he has all the power, like true
and
money,
she was young,
true
too,
power, like,
you know?
what do you, wasn't she like 19 or 20?
She was a teenager when he first contracted her, and she was in a fucking contract with somebody so powerful she couldn't get out.
What do you do?
And, what do you do?
So I read that the first day of trial that they opened up with like an hour and a half opening statement or something from the from the defense saying that she is just not exploiting, I'm sorry, I don't want to misspeak, but she basically had a lot of chances to get out and leave an abusive relationship, but she stayed because she wanted to.
That's fucking bullshit. No. And I saw another fucking comment that said, well, why didn't she leave? No, stop fucking asking the same fucking question, because you can't just get up and go. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
When somebody's so psycho like that and has a lot of money or has power, like, you cannot get away.
You have somebody who has all the money and the power to hire somebody to find you or to look for you. Like, where do you go? And they started talking about, on the opening statements, I mean, in case you're not keeping up with it, the case that the defense is trying to prove is that everything Diddy did was domestic violence. And that's how they're going, not that they're going to get him off, but that's how I believe if he has a chance at getting off, that's how they're going to get him off. Because he's not charged with domestic violence crimes right now. He's in federal prison for sex trafficking and racketeering. So if they can prove and say like, yeah, maybe he's a piece of shit. Yeah, he punched the shit out of her. Yeah, he was an asshole to her. Was he sex trafficking her though? And other people? No.
But
if he gets off, that'll be fine.
I feel like it is sex trafficking because they had to drug her for her to want to be able to do anything. And they're saying that, allegedly, they're saying that even his personal employees would have to give her these drugs so she can be able to perform these sex acts.
They were complicit. They're name dropping, dude. They're giving everything away.
Aren't all these motherfuckers being held accountable is my question, because everybody should be held accountable.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're going at about it. Well, I mean, eventually maybe, I don't know, but they're trying to maneuver everything to where it's domestic violence and they're criminal churches and not federal.
Did you see who was
for them?
Who showed up to court today to testify?
No.
Jaguar Wright.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
You don't know who that is? Well, it was one of P. Diddy's like closest friends that saw everything, that like excused herself from everything and decided to get away because she didn't want to be involved with all that shit. But she said, you know, Jay-Z's involved. She said so many names. She said, I mean, and everything that she's been saying, like they've said in court. So everything's like checking out, you know?
Dude, it's so hard for me to wrap my brain around things like that because the more that I get older and the more that I start to learn about the world, like, why is it that everybody is obsessed with sex? Like, I feel like, and I don't mean that like in a pleasure way, right? Like, of course we all, you know, but any sort of power, any sort of control is shown through that.
Yeah.
You know, like, who is that obsessed and who is that, I guess, horny, I don't know, to have these massive freak-offs?
That's disgusting,
like,
dude.
Calling it a freak-off. Like, if I'm invited to a party and they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to, like, this freak-off, you know, there's going to be girls and all that. Like, maybe I'm just small-town America over here, and to me, like, some massive, like, who could do that or who would be into that?
People that are just sick in their head, to be honest, because I don't think, I mean, I'm a very sexual person, but I don't think I could ever take it to that extreme or like record it and then watch it again. Like, that would be embarrassing to me. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That would be
embarrassing to you?
Like, I don't want to watch. Really? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've never done that, so I don't know. But like where other people are involved, no. Like, yeah, like they were saying, no. and then making them finish on her like that, that's disgusting, dude.
No, it wasn't finishing. He was talking about making them urinate on her.
No, también finishing on top of her. And then he would make Cassie go into another room and rub that stuff all over him or his nipples or something like that. But that's what they were saying. I just heard that today from Chris Hilton.
Yeah, that I didn't read and look into, but I saw that they were talking about like the golden shower.
It's disgusting.
Not off topic, but off the seriousness of the topic. Did you know that a golden shower is not literally somebody like just like somebody just urinating on you.
What?
Well, it is, but it's not just like he pulls it out and just pees on somebody. Mm-hmm. It's like allegedly supposed to be like in spurts.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like you know how like a man would like pull it out and then just like pee?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not supposed to be like that and like on them. Mm-hmm. It's, I guess, like in spurts in their mouth.
Oh, hell motherfucking no.
Allegedly. This is what I saw on a video because when I was looking at it, that it started over the last couple of days.
You can't. Mm-mm.
Yeah, apparently that she wasn't doing it, or he wasn't doing it. The escort, I think, is who it was that he was saying that he wasn't doing it right, and so the person that I was watching was talking about how because I would have assumed like a golden shower is just like a man just like goes all over you know, like whenever he has to pee, but no, allegedly it's like it's supposed to be in spurts and. Yeah,
like
so
shooting,
the escort wasn't doing it right, yeah.
Like timing it out and then going again and timing it. That would be hard. No, dude, and then I look at like his pictures that are surfacing where his hair's all gray and I'm like, you piece of shit, dude. I'm like, you nasty piece of shit. I don't even wish
to make people do this.
I can't even say ojalá te violen en el ese because le va a gustar. You know?
Dude, and imagine had Cassie not come out. Mm-hmm. Imagine had Cassie not come out. Now, think about who else is going through all of this in Hollywood. They've even said, this is just speculation, but like from before when Diddy had barely gotten arrested, that they had raided his house and they found all that baby oil and shit. Allegedly, they were saying that Usher is somehow tied into that or that has attended them, which in turn, when he brought Justin Bieber under his wing, that Justin Bieber was exposed and I guess
things happened to him.
Things could have happened to him.
That's why he's all fucked up now.
Dude, para mí, the thought of somebody hurting a child.
No. Did you hear about that little girl that supposedly Diddy was that? Excuse me, that supposedly Diddy was like, hey, come live with us, you're gonna be good, and call me
when he barely got arrested. Yeah, when he and she's like been there for yeah.
Well, she came out recently saying that she would if she wouldn't call him Daddy Diddy or Daddy Combs or whatever, that he would make her go to another room and let two men have their way with her.
No. No, I have not seen that.
Yeah. It's
dude,
so
who could freaking hurt a child? Like, I even feel bad spanking my kids because the way they look at me, like, I just, like, hurt them, like, les hice caer el mundo encima.
Yeah.
Just because they were doing something wrong or, you know, which I hardly ever spank my kids anyway, but, you know, going further than that and, like, ruining somebody's childhood, their innocence and things like that.
No.
There's a special place in hell for people like that because there's something wrong with your soul.
There is absolutely something wrong with your fucking brain to be able to do these things and think you're going to get away with it. Like,
or when I hear, did you hear about that lady here locally? Estaba bien bonita, that she allegedly had her daughter, that she was beating her daughter and her son, and the school is the one who actually ended up catching it.
Really?
Yes. So she's real pretty, and then the reason why I know that because obviously in her mugshot she looks like shit, but whenever people were tagging her underneath, so it states that somebody called to the school because the school nurse observed facial injuries on a 6-year-old girl, including a swollen and bruised eye. When the nurse asked her about the injury, the child initially claimed it was her brother had hit her in the face with a pillow. A pillow is not going to give you a black eye. So the nurse pressed her further, and she ended up confessing that her mom, the nurse pressed the brother, and he ended up saying that the mom had punched the younger sister in the face after she threw up in the bed.
I mean, they do that. They're kids. They get sick.
They don't have control.
They don't know how to control that shit.
Be frustrated all you want, but you're gonna give her a black eye because she threw up in the bed?
No. So when shit like that goes down, dude, I'm like, let me get my hands on her.
Dude, it's horrible. So then the brother described that in a separate incident, the mom had struck him in the back, causing him to fall forward, hit a table, and he lost his front tooth.
Oh my God.
Le dio un chingazo y se pegó en la mesa.
Now that you're mentioning it,
broke his tooth.
Mm-hmm. I know which one.
And then in the interview, the girl corroborated that her mother had punched her in the face. She said that she was scared of her, saying that she thought her mother was going to her after becoming furious that she vomited. Dude, I absolutely cannot. I don't care how pretty, rich, ugly, fat, poor you are. A child is a child. They're going to pee the bed. Yeah. They're going to throw up. Be frustrated. Like, nobody wants to be cleaning up throw up in the middle of the night or whenever. Like, if the kid pees in the bed night after night, it's so frustrating. I get it.
Yeah.
Trust me, I have 4 kids. I get it.
But there's no fucking reason to punch a kid in the face. No.
Can you imagine being that mad? Like, oh my God, you threw up. What's wrong with you? Oh my God.
No, dude, I look at Rain and I'm like, oh my God, I love him so much. Like the thought of anybody hurting my baby infuriates me. No, I could never. I
just like that scenario plays in my head. Or like, you peed in the bed and you're trying to pick it up and like the kid is just like they're terrified of you because está sin cabrón nada and like one thing is for them to be like, oh my God, my mom is gonna be so mad versus literal fear that you're gonna get popped in the face. Oh my gosh, no, dude. So that
Rain has with the bed a couple of times, but it's our fault for giving him water so late or whatever. But I mean, you just fucking get up, change him, put a fucking towel down, y a dormir otra vez, and tomorrow we'll fucking deal with it. It's not a big deal. Like, shit happens.
1,000%.
Kids are gonna be kids, and there's stuff they can control, there's stuff they can't control. That don't mean you go and fucking beat up your kid like that, especially to that extreme.
And good for the nurse for calling it out. Good for her, like, continue, like, obviously she's not a believer, but like, good for her. Like, I know that they have their protocols and everything, but dude.
No, I'm so glad she caught it in time because you never know what could happen.
Listen, this is like maybe going to be a very controversial like opinion, and maybe I'm like canceling myself here with what I'm about to say, but I am so against abortion. But by the same token, if kids are going to be subject to lives like that,
No, I agree
don't
with
support
you
it.
because
I'm not going to say go do it.
I'm against abortion, you know, to each their own, of course. But me, I don't believe in abortion because I lost a son and I wish I would have been able to keep him. You know, I wish God would have let him stay. But if you have the choice to keep this child, like, why not? And you went and opened your legs. Now, if it's, you got if you got hard, then okay, I get it. Give it up for adoption.
Yeah, and that's one of those tricky like situations where it's just like you can't win no matter what you say. But I think that's why, to me, it's your conscience, it's your belief, it's your, you know, whatever like you're going to do, because nobody can stop you.
Right.
They can do laws, they can do, you know, whatever. Like, I've even seen, and I hope this doesn't give anybody any ideas, pero que se meten un gancho to like break your, to puncture your matriz.
Hell no. That's fucking psychotic.
So
no.
Like, oh, women are dying because they're performing abortions and they're, doing it themselves. So women
I'm sorry,
are dying.
But that's a choice you make. If you die from that, then that's the risk you wanted to take.
Pro-choice, like, we need to be able to have abortion clinics on every corner of the there's people like that.
No, tampoco.
But to me, it's you and your conscience. I would love for you to carry your baby to full term and but also there's just so many risks. That's why to me, I don't talk about it. I don't fight for it and I don't fight against it. I just, to me, I prefer people don't do it, but I just
I'm okay. Okay,
something like that.
For example, you have a a night out, you get too drunk, you think the condom might have busted, or y'all didn't use a condom or whatever. I'm all for plan B.
Yeah.
But if it's like once in a blue moon, not if you're fucking popping them like Tic Tacs.
They're using them like,
contraceptives. Like fucking every weekend. That's not only unhealthy for you, but it could harm you. It could potentially like fuck your whole system up to where then you can't have none in the future, you know? So why do that to yourself or to your body? Like, no.
Yeah. Yeah,
but anyway,
let's get off that topic because that one's but that was like I wanted to bring that up because people are always like the Republican side is like abortion and they hate whatever and like no, we have to fight for the lives of these, but dude, honestly, like if you're going to bring a child into the world and it's going to live a life like that, like
de maltratos and everything, mejor no.
Yeah, mejor what's it called? Arréglatelas allá con Dios.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so many outlets like you can put your child up for adoption. Like, why put them through suffering when you have choices?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So back to like the whole Diddy thing. It's crazy to me how everything for some people in life is about sex. Like, I can't wrap my brain around, having massive parties like that and mistreating people and abusing people just because you want to get off.
Yeah, that's fucking weird. Or you
get off on that. Like somebody doing that in front. And then there's people and critics online saying like, oh, well, Cassie liked it and Cassie, was like participating in it or whatever. Like, what's the alternative if she didn't participate?
She get her ass beat.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Acting like they're forcing you, which, technically they are. But not giving this other person the satisfaction that they're looking for out of it. Y te van a poner una chinga.
And still make you do it because allegedly that's still what would happen. She would still have to perform these acts, even if she didn't want to, because she would get her ass beat after she performed them. Mm-hmm. So she had to act like she was into it because if not, it would go bad either way. So,
yeah,
what do you do?
And I feel like I'm a very mentally strong person, but the way that that pedophiles break people down like this, and that abusers break people down and break them apart and get them to a place where they feel so little and so weak and so insignificant and so just not important, to where you could do whatever the hell you want to them is absolutely beyond me.
Yeah.
So, let's touch again on let's shift gears a little bit because we've been so
because I'm because I felt
okay. So the crying and posting it online.
Bitch, if I ever do something that's cringe like that, you better fucking tell me.
Are we bullies for saying that?
No. I don't consider myself a bully for saying that because I'm just speaking my mind. Because I am an influencer. We are influencers. We want to put stuff out there that is going to make you laugh or make you smile or relatable topics. But something like that, literally makes me cringe. Speaking of going viral, I posted a video of Rain. So he's learning animals and stuff, and his way of saying hipopótamo is hijo de tu putamo.
Hilarious.
And no matter how hard we teach him, dilo así, that's just how he says it. And people, there was one lady that was all fucking negative. Ay, sí, muy bonito, la, la, la. And I'm like, ¿qué le valga verga, señora? ¿Usted qué chingón le importa? Keep scrolling, And y'all, he has 1.2 million views in just 3 days. And
that's fucking insane.
167,000 likes, 9,000 something comments, and almost 80,000 reposts. I'm like, holy shit, I knew he was gonna get some likes because it is fucking hilarious. But at the same time, I didn't know it was gonna go viral like that. I mean, 1.2 million views is insane.
I'm just glad people have not started talking shit to you. About it, because I feel like that could have gone a whole different way. But you know what? It's good that you touch on that, on the negative comment, because you know what? I don't know when it happened, but I became a person that I don't just scroll on when I see something that I don't like. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not.
Tell them some shit right now.
I do. Like earlier, there was literally, oh man, and nobody has liked it, so I don't even know if I can go back. But there was in a mom group, this lady was saying that the group that she started going to a new church and that she really likes it, her kids really like it, but that I guess they had a water baptism class for the kids, and they asked the kids, like, okay, well, who would like to get baptized by water? And she was on there. I could already see her like typing, like, I cannot believe that they did that. Like, how could they offer my child to be baptized? Like, it's called church. They called me and told me that my child was on the list and that they could remove them if I wanted to or whatever. And I know exactly what church it is because that's the church that we've been going to in 2025. And let me tell you what happened when they called me from... Dude, I'm telling you, I became the person that is just like, stop posting dumb shit on the internet. Maybe that's where I'm at.
Now, I agree with you. Dumb shit is dumb shit, but like, things that are gonna make you laugh a little, like, it's not a big deal. Like, I told that lady, it's not that deep, lady.
It really is not. But this lady was talking about, how could they do this? Like, that's just really weird, and I don't like that, and this and that. Let me tell you, it happened to me when I received the call saying that, like, hey, my daughter, who's 6 years old, took the water baptism class and is saying that she wants to get baptized. I'm like, oh my God, that's like, awesome. That's a lot. Oh my, like, let me process that. I was like, thanks for calling me, whatever. So then I'm like, oh man, a baptism is a pretty big deal in my thoughts, right? Like, you're accepting Jesus as your savior. So then I'm like, does she understand that? Like, how much does she know? Like, we've only been going to this church for, what is it now, May, 5 months? So then I go to her and I'm like, hey, mama, like, do you know, they called me that you want to get water baptized? She was like, yes. And I was like, okay, so do you know what that means? And do you understand that? And she was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, explain it to me. Tell me about it. And so the explanation that she gave me told me that she does not fully understand what it means to get baptized. So for me, all I did was text that lady back and said, hey, yeah, let's take her off the list. I don't think that she's quite ready. Until she's
fully aware of why she's doing that.
This lady and the comments, dude, were talking like, oh, hell no, I would not be okay with that. Ew, what church is this? And no, it was a whole thing because I was scrolling. There was a lot of comments.
My gosh.
And several people were like, yeah, no, that is absolutely not okay. I would not be okay. I would not go back there. Like, and to me, I literally, with my whole entire chest and public profile, typed on there, like, y'all are way overreacting. This happened to me. I asked my daughter. I don't feel she was ready, so I politely declined. Called it a fucking day.
That's it.
No, dude, they're losing
Why make it such a big fucking deal about it?
Losing their minds in there. What church is that? And how, when I was reading that, I thought, maybe one or two. No, there was several people in there. And
Gavachas?
No me fijé. There was a lot of anonymous in there because people love to use anonymous.
But oh my gosh.
But
like, be fucking for real.
Yeah, to me, it was like I would have had a problem had we been sitting in church on Sunday and they bring out a line of people that are going to get baptized and my daughter was in that line and that's how I'm finding out. That's a problem.
That's a problem right there.
That would be an issue. The other portion would be, oh, hey, we need Elena here because she's going to get water baptized, so you need to bring her on XYZ days to get her ready. And I'd be like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, but if they're letting you know beforehand,
1,000%.
By all means, find out if that's what you want for your child or if that's what your child wants and he or she is aware of why or the meaning behind the water baptism before you fucking crash out like that. Because that's so cringe. That is fucking cringy.
I'm telling you, I became that person and
no, good for you for fucking
I sure
stepping up. See, like I accept criticism like that because you're right. But not in everything do you have to go and... But you said it respectfully. You didn't say it like...
I felt like being like...
Like, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. No mames,
I felt like
no.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's my age. Maybe it's just I'm becoming a bitter cow. But yeah, I can't scroll on whenever people are asking stupid questions or
if it's
saying
stupid
things.
And
but
they have to know about it.
I also would never go after a child and be like, "Ay, qué bonito le están enseñando." You know?
Yeah, dude. Because
that'd probably be something I would send you and be like, ah.
No, because you know what? No es que le enseñamos. Yo soy bien mal hablada y me vale madre, like, what people think, whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck. Now, my kid picks it up. He's gonna pick it up later on anyways.
Yes, so, dude, that's the hard part. I was actually having just
you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. If your kids pick it up now, it is what it is. If your kids pick it up later, it is what it is. Because my older kids won't cuss in front of me, but you bet your fucking
they're
ass
out there doing
when they're on their fucking games, dude, they be cussing people out left and right, and I'm like, God damn, pero no se puede enojar uno because estamos peores unos. But
I was talking to a cheer mom, and I was telling her that what are we supposed to do? Because we say it, so then obviously our kids are saying it, but then eventually they're going to be saying it anyway, like as adults.
You know, it's part of life. They're gonna fucking learn it. So you know what?
Yeah.
Que lo aprendan de los papás.
They have to at least learn it from the good. Que lo aprendan bien.
Pero porque a mí me vale madre. Like, they're gonna cuss regardless, so...
Yeah, but he was not even cussing in that. He's just not pronouncing it right, and it's fucking hilarious.
Por más que le decimos hipopótamo, he's like, hijo de tu putamo. And he's so sure of himself, and he says it with his whole chest, and it is what it is. Dude, and that video is so hilarious because he says it and then goes back to telling you about his shoe. I guess his shoe or something that no queda. He's just like, it's almost like I got the vibe of like quit asking me. Like, I already fucking told you, get my shoe on. Mama. But no, I mean, when people post dumb shit, like, my poor husband, he asks me some dumb shit. Sometimes he'll be like, there's a car accident, like half a mile up, and he's like, ¿qué pasaría, mija? And I'm like, no, pues, quién sabe, si quieres, avánzale poquito para parar y preguntarles, porque yo tampoco sé, yo estoy en el mismo carro que tú, so, no sé.
But is he asking qué pasaría, like, literally what happened, or how the accident happened?
I think both.
Okay. Maybe. I was like, it'd be nice if he's asking, like, how do you think it happened?
No, he's literal. And I'm like, dude, I'm in the fucking same car as you. I see the same thing you're seeing, so I don't fucking know, but if you really want to find out, and sometimes I am a smart ass about it, he'll be like, válgame, ¿qué pasaría ya? ¿O viste eso? And I'm like, no vi, pero si quieres devolverte, like, pues nos devolvemos y nos fijamos porque pues no vi. But like stuff like that, I mean, if it's stupid shit, like, you're gonna get stupid answers.
Yeah. Don't ask stupid questions and you won't get stupid answers.
Exactly.
No. So there's this mom, allegedly, or not allegedly, it's on the video. So it's at one of the middle schools and here in Odessa, and she comes up to a girl and she's screaming something. It sounds like she's saying, like, snitching something. Like, I don't know the context of it. I don't know the people, nothing. But she's literally going up to a kid in middle school and telling her that she needs to leave her daughter alone. Now, from everything, my Facebook investigation that I did, it seems that she has burnt out all options for the school. Like, she's gone to talk to the school, she's tried to talk to the principal, she's tried to, handle it the right way, but it's not being handled, and the daughter keeps getting bullied.
Oh, man.
So the mom is going up to the kid that's bullying her, apparently, and telling her, like, leave my daughter alone. Now, the Permian Basin is divided because half the people are like, she should have absolutely never gone to the kid directly. She should have gone to the mom. And then there's half that are like, how could she have done that? I'm sorry, I didn't even explain that right. There's half of the people that are on the mom side saying, like, hell yeah, do what you need to do. She didn't even do anything bad. Right. You would think the way that people are acting, like she went in there and just started punching the kid. No, she went up to her and told her, like, yeah, like, that, enough is enough. Like, you need to just leave her alone. And then there's half the people who are like, she should have never even approached the kid at all. She should have gone straight to the parents. Here's where I'm at with it. How many times have you seen somebody do something to a kid, or that something is happening to a kid and you're like, oh, I'd be in jail if that was my kid. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not. You don't fuck with my kid. The mom stood on business. Mm-hmm. The mom went and told her, like, enough is enough. You need to stop. Like, ya, córtale tu pinche pedo. Mm-hmm. That's all she did. She didn't put her hands on her. Yeah. She didn't push her. She didn't even get in her face.
Do you remember when one of my kids was getting bullied at Barbara Jordan?
I don't. I feel like maybe. Yes. When you were living over there, right?
One of my kids, and I'm not gonna mention a name, was getting really bullied to the point where these fucking little motherfuckers were cussing him the fuck out. Mm-mm. They were threatening him that they were gonna beat the shit out of him. The way these little kids were talking to my son, you would swear they were grown ass men. Mm-hmm. My son went as far as to offer them money so they can leave him alone. And the way that broke me as a mom, and the way that it infuriated me on top of that, was beyond me. What I did, I took screenshots of their phone numbers and their names, asked my son for their names. I went in that community, that area, there's a Lawndale page, and I went on there and I was like, who the fuck is so-and-so's parents, so-and-so's parents, and so-and-so's parents? I was like, I need them to call me now, because shit was like, I was ready to go with the fucking belt and just whoop these little motherfuckers' ass, because the way they frightened my kid, like, no, like, when it comes to my kids, that's a fucking line you do not want to fucking cross. That's what I'm telling you. Because you will fucking regret it. When it comes to my kids, no fucks are given from there on out. So tread at your own,
So then discretion. I posted ahorita, like, hey, the Permian Basin's divided. I personally am on the mom's side because I don't feel like she did anything bad. So then there's a couple comments on there that I started reading. So one of my friends is like, well, no, she shouldn't have gone to the mom. And then to the kid. Mm-hmm. And then she's also saying that apparently somewhere else that the mom used to be a bully, también, and was a bitch and, like, treated people like shit. Here's where I'm at with it. I don't give a shit what I did in my past. I don't care if I was the biggest, like, most awful human to you, which I'm sorry if I ever was, but if I was, you still are not going to fuck with my kids.
Right.
I don't care what I did in the past. Mm-hmm. Okay. So somebody coming on there and saying, like, oh, well, she did this and this and this to me, and just to give y'all context on who this person is, like, okay, cool. That does not guarantee, or that does not tell you that I'm gonna be okay with your kid doing shit to my kid.
What I would have done is I would have watched that little girl and stay there until I saw whoever was picking them up, got off, and went to speak to the parents. Yes, anger makes you do crazy things, but it is what it is. But I can't. Your mama better know how to fight. If you're fucking with my kids, your mom better know how to fight.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do in that situation, because I personally have never been bullied, so I don't know what that's like. Mm-hmm. My kids, gracias a Dios, none of them have ever, been bullied or anything like that. So I can't tell you how I'm going to react. What I can tell you is that from an outsider looking at the situation, the mom didn't do literally anything wrong. Now, people are acting like she went and got in that girl's face and was like, oh, and she didn't. Like, and we'll play the video. I'll ask the lady if I can use her video. But she didn't get in her face or anything. She was literally probably, like, right here to her, and she was like, you need to leave my daughter alone, and blah, 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 and this and that. And the little girl, it's like talking shit back to her, which also kind of tells you, like,
what kind of, yeah.
In my opinion,
but I'm not saying it is. Like, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything, or whatever.
And, like, I was in here, and why would I do this? And blah blah. Like, yelling back at the mom, and the mom is basically like just saying, "I don't care. I'm telling you, you need to leave her alone." Yeah. And that's what it was. So for me, I take it as, like, people always say, "Oh, if that was my kid, I'd be in jail. I'd be in handcuffs. You're gonna have to go bail me out." The mom stood on business, and that's. Hey. I'm
gonna interrupt you there for a minute. So when I was married to my second husband, Alan was getting bullied at school. Mm-hmm. And he got pushed down in the bathroom to where the back of his head hit the toilet, and he had a big old knot. And after school, I was like, we're just eating at the Chinese restaurant. I remember he turned some way, and I saw the big ass fucking knot, and I was like, what the fuck happened? I was, like, enraged. I was so like, sick to my stomach. Hell, like, yeah, what the fuck, what happened? And he was reluctant to tell me, but I finally like talked him into it. And he told me, so my ex was like, hey, how about we have a sleepover and we invite the little boy over and then we whoop his ass?
Oh my God.
I mean, it was like hypothetically, you know, but I mean, we weren't going to do that, but it was so funny when he said it, que descanse en paz, because he's no longer with us. But, the way he said, he's like, let's invite him over.
Invite him over. Like all serious and planning it.
That's what the belt.
Yeah, it's hard, dude. But the bullying stuff is just really difficult. Dios me libre to ever have to deal with that. Yeah. But I'm also going to teach my kids que no se dejen.
Yeah, even if your kids... even if you think your kids are not bullying, always fucking talk to your kids and tell them, if I find out you're bullying, like, your ass is grabbed.
I've told my son,
whoop the shit out of my kids if I find out they're being fucking bullied.
Because I just had this conversation with Jaxie. También le dije, vale más que te vayas a cuidar. And I swear to God, if a mom calls me and says that you were calling their kid, because I had to have the talk of explaining to him, like, listen, sometimes people don't play the way that we play, and we have to know who we can play with and who we can't.
Right.
Because I did see a text message where he's calling somebody a big back or whatever, and the kid is telling him big shit or like shit back too. Mm-hmm. So they have that banter. But I was like, you've got to be very careful, like in real life, because if you are talking to a girl or whatever in class and you're like, oh, whatever, big back, like that, that could turn in. Yeah. You're saying it like not literally that you're fat, but just like
be hurtful and you know what? All this aside from bullying is so like important because this is really happening. Yeah. So talk to your fucking kids. Tell them not to fucking be bullying. If you find out they're bullying, you better whoop their fucking ass at home because that is a fucking no.
And like she said, if your kid is bullying my kid, your mom better know how. What is it?
Your mom, your fucking grandma, your tias. I don't give a fuck who you
better know.
They all better know how to fucking fight, and I'll take them one on one.
Yeah, good for you. No, because same.
No, my kids are unfuckwithable. You can
don't even look my way.
Don't even look at them in a gas or something, Mom. But anyway.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We covered a lot today, dude.
It was like this.
So it started out like so serious and everything, and then we stopped with like, if your kid is bullying my kid, you better know how to fight.
Don't get your mama beat up.
Yeah. Yeah, so don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Spotify, Apple, Instagram. We're on everything at Andale Pues Podcast. And, of course, our personal pages, we always tag them whenever we post our videos. So let us know what you think in the comments. We hope that you have a really great day. Andale Pues. Bye.